Good evening, basketball fans. Welcome to Pollard Gymnasium for tonight's West Side rival game between the Cardinal Ritter Raiders and the Speedway Sparkplugs. I'm joined here tonight, as always, with Coach Chuck Bennett. Coach, let's go back to the two games prior to the Christmas vacation. Greenwood and Crawfordsville, both very, very competitive games. I know the Crawfordsville game we were leading with maybe 3 minutes to go. Tremendously close games. Just comment, if you would, a little bit on what happened in those games.
Yeah, well, we went down to Greenwood, and obviously bigger school, well coached by Joe Bradburn, obviously been around for a while. Very tough team, but went down there, and actually our kids, we battled, had the lead midway through the third quarter. They went on a 9-0 run in the third quarter with about the last 2:30 to go, and then we just couldn't recover. Got it back down to 4. Halfway through the fourth quarter, and then they made free throws down the stretch. But we extended the game, and in that situation, our kids did a real nice job. I think we are kind of discovering ourselves and finding our roles. It's been an adventure, to say the least. But our kids, it seems like we haven't all been on the same page, or to use a bad, probably spark plug term, firing on all cylinders yet. But, we had Nate Metallic, obviously, has done a great job of leading us. He did a great job that night, not only scoring, but then he went 12 of 14 from the free throw line. He scored 31 points. I think he had 5 assists. Creighton Bennett got 9 rebounds that night, and they had a 6'6" and a 6'7" kid. So we had all kinds of contributions, but we just couldn't pull that one off. And then, again, to our kids' credit, came back. We practiced well in between finals, which our kids were taking very seriously. Go out to Crawfordsville. We're down 9 at halftime out there. Started off the game well, but then battled back through the third quarter. And like you said, we had the lead with 2:48 to go. We were up 1, and then we had 3 possessions where we got stops. And then offensively, we had a turnover, we had a missed shot, and then another missed shot. And from there, they kind of went on a little run, got out 4, and then we had the foul, and they ended up winning, I think, by 7. But our kids on the road, we're real close. We just keep telling them we're right there, and I know it sounds silly sometimes. People hear the cliche, when you take a look at the film, there's minor things we need to correct, but truly there are very minor things that we can correct, and our kids know. And again, we gave them several days off. We've only been in Monday, Tuesday before this game because I wanted to make sure Christmas holiday, we didn't practice on Christmas Eve or the 23rd or anything. Gave them the day off, and to their credit, for 2 days we've had really good practices. We've been working real hard on the little things, our closeouts, our box outs, rebounding wise, catching the ball in triple threat. We had 15 turnovers at Greenwood. If we could get it down to 10, that'd be great. 5 possessions. So, just little things that we're going to clean up. But tonight's going to be an exciting opportunity for us to try to do that.
Yeah, tonight you got a Ritter team coming in here that's had a little bit of a tournament yesterday to come in 4-4. A new coach, probably a new system. I know what they want to do is keep the momentum going from yesterday, and they probably want to pick the pace up a little bit as I talked to Coach before the game. Talk a little bit about Cardinal Ritter. I've
been real impressed with Coach Williams. He's come in, he's done a nice job. I believe he was an assistant at Fishers High School, and so he – well respected. I actually talked with him earlier in the season. A tremendous tremendous coach. Got his kids playing hard. And when we went to scout, we've seen him 3 times against Cecina, Decatur. We got the Sheridan tape. So they do pick up. There'll be full court pressure. I suspect they'll probably try to do some things to Nate Metallic. We've tried to counterbalance that somewhat, but they'll be up in us the whole time. There's no relaxing. And if we can limit our turnovers and execute our offense, we're going to be okay. Put a couple different press breakers in to try to get the ball to Nate and do some special things. But they also have 2 very good players. Number 21, Benny Smith, who, when we saw him play, Cecina hit 5 threes.
He's averaging around 19.
Yes, so he's by far their best player. And Savion Brown, number 30, is a very good player for them, too. He played for them last year. Those 2 guys kind of make them go, but then the rest of their guys are real nice. But, again, their defensive pressure is what we're going to have to handle. But I think if we can handle the pressure, get into our half-court offense and execute, you're going to see us get some easy shots. If we can finish those, that'd be great, too.
Good. Well, let's hope we're hitting on all cylinders tonight. Get it going. So JV game here is behind 33-26 with about 6 minutes to go till the end of the third quarter. Coach, good luck tonight, and we'll talk to you after the game.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome once again, basketball fans, to Pollard Gymnasium for tonight's varsity contest, the last of 3 games here tonight. The Sparkplug freshman team defeated Ritter, and then the Ritter JV team defeated Speedway, and now is the varsity game tonight. I'm here again with Coach Clampett. Coach, how was your Christmas?
Oh, it was good. Great. Got to spend some time with the family and my wife's family. Really good. I love the holidays.
I do too. It's watched a lot of games on TV over the holidays, and it's always special. It's when I know when you played, this game was always, I believe, the last game before Christmas.
Yep.
And it's good that this occurs. We'll get a good crowd tonight, I think. There'll be some college kids back in town for this, and it's a good rivalry. You know, I was looking through our schedule, and I may be wrong on this, and you can correct me, but I see, as soon as I can find my schedule, maybe 4 teams, and I've been here 34, 35 years, but 4 teams that we have played every year since I've been here. Beech Grove, no matter what the conference affiliation was, we were both in the mid-state, and then we separated for a little bit, but we played them, I think, every year. Cardinal Ritter. Tri-West, I believe we have played every year. And, again, somebody might remember it differently. And I think Cascade, since I've been here, we played every year. So this is a big rivalry game. Plugs are coming off of a couple of losses. I'm hoping tonight that the way the weather has turned warmer outside, I hope the Sparkplugs can turn a little bit warmer tonight on the court. Let's do the lineups real quickly. Ritter actually played a couple of games yesterday in the Alexandria tournament and won. They come in with a 4-4 record on the season, coached by Derek Williams. Derek, in his first year, I believe he was an assistant at Fishers High School last year. They're going to go with 3 guards. Dylan Hoff, the 5'10 junior, number 4. Mikhail Miller, a 5'11 senior, number 15. And also leading scorer, Benny Smith, a 6'3 senior. Benny averaging around 19 a game. Benny's number is 21. And they're 2 inside players. Most teams now don't really go to a center, so to speak. Josh Adams, a 6'4 senior, number 10. And Casey and Stevenson, a 6'5 junior, number 24. Sparkplugs are going to go with their normal lineup tonight. Guards, Nate Metallic and Cody Fenters. I think Nate had over 30 last week with one of the games.
Yep.
Landon Short inside, 6'4 junior. Devin Robinson, 5'10 junior. And Creighton Bennett, a 6'4 senior. That's the normal lineup they've been spending. Once again, Cale Bennett's still out with the concussion protocol. We'll go down here to John Del Corrado and listen to the pregame announcements at this time.
If you need physical therapy, visit selectphysicaltherapy.com and schedule an appointment at a conveniently located central Indiana location. In the spirit of sportsmanship, we ask all fans to act responsibly and courteously to those around them. Abusive language and negative behavior is unacceptable at all IHSAA events. Let's support the players, coaches, and officials with the respect they deserve. Thank you for being a good sport. Follow all the Speedway athletic teams by visiting our website. Go to sparkplugs.com. Stay up to the minute with Sparkplug at the athletic department on Twitter. Twitter handle is @SparkplugSports, and the official Twitter page is Sparkplug Basketball @PlugsDWC. The IHSAA is seeking officials for all sports. Get back in the game, earn some extra money, and make a positive impact on lives of our youth through sport. If you or someone you know is interested in becoming a licensed referee or official, text official to 317-943-9030. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you can please rise and remove your hats and face the flag as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. First, the Cardinal Ritter Raiders. At guard, 5'10" junior, number 4, Dylan Hawk. At guard, 5'11" senior, number 15, Mikhail Miller. At guard, 6'3" senior, number 21, Benny Smith. Forward, 6'4" senior, number 10, Josh Adams. Forward, 6'5" junior, number 24, Casey Stevenson. And coach of the Raiders, Eric Williams, assisted by Bob Webb, Joseph Anderson, Marcus May, and Nigel Ryan. Ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for your Speedway Sparkplugs. At guard, 6'5" senior, number 3, Dave Gonzalez. Guard, 5'11" junior, number 20, Cody Venter. Forward, 6'4" junior, number 24, Landon Short. Forward, 5'10" junior, number 32, Devin Robinson. Forward, 6'4" senior, number 52, Creighton Bennett. Head coach of the Sparkplugs, Charles Bennett, assisted by Jim Hurley and Christian Ford. Officials for tonight's contest, Scott Williams, Scott Wagner, and Larry Wynn. Time for Speedway basketball.
Jim, a little disappointed in you tonight. I thought maybe you'd bring the West Side Super Bowl trophy over with you tonight. For those a little bit unfamiliar with that, I think at that time, athletic director Mark Weller, in the rivalry between us and the Raiders and Speedway, got hold of a life-size trophy, actually. I think one night they had it on the golf cart, and the golf cart almost tipped over. But congratulations on you for the last 2 years of wins against the Raiders.
We love that trophy. It's in the office for everyone to see when they walk in.
Good.
We cleaned it up when we got it back. Not saying that Ritter didn't take very care of it, but we've done a nicer job the last 2 years. We plan on holding on to it for a while.
Good.
Well, Plugs got the ball to start with. Excited for tonight. Speedway Ritter, big rivalry. Speedway kids always talk about this game more than any other game. Doesn't matter what sport it is.
And this is our rivalry. It's for us, it is anyway.
Yes, it is.
Nice shot.
Metallic with 2. It's a good start. Plugs are in their 3-2 zone. They played a lot more of this year. Miller up top. To 21, the Benny Smith, the good left-handed kid. He's going to play on the perimeter.
Benny Smith shooting 48% at three-point distance for the year. As I said earlier, averaging around 19. I don't have the stats from yesterday's games, but this was through the first 6.
Good rebound by Creighton Bennett. Landon Short with the drive, gets in the lane, kicks it out. Plugs will try to run some offense here. Drive by Devin Robinson, gets the roll. Hoff brings it up. Good drive by Hoff, gets in the lane, makes a left-handed layup. Ritter's going to be primarily man-to-man. Pressure the ball, they'll press a little bit. Missed by Cody Fenners. Plugs are, looks like they're man after a miss there. Casey Stevens with a little left-handed running hook. Metallic with a turnover. The Mackay Miller kid has been playing varsity for quite a few years. I was on the scout report back when I scouted Ritter a few years back. He's a good ball player. He'll give Nate a challenge. He's a good defensive player. Plugs still in their zone. Cody Fenners with a steal. Ooh. Plugs ball. Coach
Bennett was talking before the game that, you you lose some games and you get disappointed, but he said the kids got a great attitude, had some good practices, and they're not that far off. We had a lead against Crawfordsville in the last quarter with a couple minutes to go. Played well against a 4A Greenwood team. Need to keep the heads up and eliminate the smaller things that they have not been doing correctly.
Yeah, I stopped in yesterday, was here and saw practice. It was upbeat. All the kids were here getting after it. Metallic with 2 more. It's a good night to come back, get up. Everyone's going to be excited to play against Ritter and win tonight. Could springboard a little success moving forward. Miller takes it inside. Back out to Miller. 3 seconds. Oh, no, not 3 seconds. I think an official timeout here.
Yeah, I'm not. I think Nate got hit, perhaps. I don't know, but I think that's why he kind of bent over, and I think the officials saw that, and at least that's what it appeared to me.
If official stops the game, you got to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice move there. It didn't go down, but it's a good move.
Yeah. Miller's a good senior point guard.
Yeah.
He's played a lot of basketball for Ritter over the last 4 years. Turnover by the Plugs. Layup. Block.
They got the call, probably a correct call, but it looked to me like it was a 3-on-1. They probably may have been able to end up with an uncontested layup, but it ended up okay for the Raiders.
Yeah, I think it was a block too. I think it was a good call by the officials. Good job by Devin to trying to stop that 3-on-1 fast break. Kason Stevenson, the 6'5" junior, left-handed. Leaves the first one short. This is both of them. Creighton Bennett with the rebound.
Missed them the same way.
Yeah. Nate misses a little floater, just in and out. Miller on the attack with the layup. Turnover by Metallic. Looks like they may be running and jumping or just running at him a little bit to get the ball out of his hands.
Coach Moore for Ritter talked to him before the game and mentioning about some of the keys they had for this game tonight. Continue the momentum that they had yesterday. They played 2 ball games yesterday, so they're probably coming a little bit tired. But they're also a little bit more up-tempo. They want to get out and run, and he thought those were the things probably that they should be looking at to doing tonight to be successful. Coach Bennett said he really would like to get down to 10 errors or less, which would be, in my mind, would be really good. For any high school team, you get below 10 errors, you're going to win some games. To me, that was the big takeaway for me in terms of what he thought the keys to the game tonight were.
Well, I think you're exactly right. Ritter's going to try to speed us up and turn it into an up-and-down game, and we need to control that and limit our turnovers and pressure them like we're doing here, pick our spots.
Sparkplugs falling back now into a 2-3, at least for that possession. Good change up by Coach Bennett after the timeout.
Good move by Landon. Ooh.
You know, so far in the game, at least 3 or 4 times Sparkplug players have gotten loose down the lane. A little bit more often than what I've seen them play in previous games. And, of course, now we're drawing fouls at that. Be good to see Landon get off to a good start from the free throw line tonight. Bingo.
There it is.
I don't have the statistics here for the Sparkplugs, but I know on the season he has shot a lot of free throws. I believe it was last home game, he shot like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And he's 6'4". He gets the ball inside, gets second shots.
He's got a really good feel for the game. He can drive and make some plays for other guys. Just there, you know, he's 6'4", takes a rebound, gets it all the way down the lane, gets fouled, make 2 free throws, get his confidence going. Ooh, yes,
yeah,
sir.
Good.
Plugs are winning 8-6 halfway through the first quarter. Done a good job on the Smith kid. I don't think he's got a shot up yet.
No, I don't think so. That foul kind of came as a result of Cody Fenner's taking a little bit of a gamble there, about 25 feet from the basket, and the gamble didn't pay off, and was able to penetrate down the lane and draw a foul. Those are, Coach Ben's talking about little things before the game, and those to me are just the real little things that are separating the difference between winning these close games and not winning them. There you go.
Yep, good job by Bambo on the ball. Good job by the Plugs. You know, as a coach, you don't mind the gambling, but when they reach with their wrong hand and get themselves completely out of position, there's a way to gamble and still still keep your team in the game. Legal screen on Cody Fenners. I think that was a good call too.
Yeah, I agree.
And I always tell the officials though, I'd rather them get a legal screen call than not screen anybody.
Yeah.
Sometimes high school kids, you almost rather just screen anybody.
Yeah.
You know, not a spot on the floor, an actual person.
Yeah. Good tip. Very good tip by Nate Metallic. He wasn't able to get the board, but he was going to make sure that the team in the black tonight. Nice pass. Great pass. I've seen a lot of that from Nate this season.
Done a great job getting the ball up.
I think his future perhaps would be at a point guard, and certainly exhibiting some of those skills this year. We know he can score.
Yes, he can.
Things are picking up. Sparkplugs committing their 4th foul of the first half. I believe that's the 4th foul.
You know, the Plugs did a good job of getting the ball down the lane again. You know, we've got to beat the press and get layups or get offense. Or
I think the spacing on our offense is a little bit better tonight. Perimeter players are a little bit more into the corner area, which is leaving the middle open.
Miller with 3. Yeah. I think you're right, Coach Bro. Spacing's such a big part of the game. A Metallic with a 18-footer there. Tough shot. Just missed it.
Nice reverse layup.
Benny Smith with 2. Turnover by the Plugs. Good look ahead by Nate. Just overthrew him a little bit. Plugs need a stop and a good possession here. Plugs back in the 3-2.
Ritter running a little motion against the zone.
Good drive, turnover. I don't think that's all bad.
No.
Sometimes I think it's good to run your man stuff against zone just to get people moving
and
playing. Sometimes you put your zone offense in and everyone stands around a little bit. Fenners for 15, misses. Gets his rebound. Metallic for 3. Best time to shoot a 3.
Yes. Yep.
Offensive rebounds.
Nice move.
Good move by Benny Smith. We got to keep him off his left hand.
Yep.
Done a good job. Those left-handed guys are sneaky, though.
31 seconds to go in the first quarter play. Score is tied, 13-13. Be nice to get the last shot and perhaps get to make at the same time.
Yeah, I think if you don't get a great shot off this out-of-bounds play, I think you gotta go for one shot.
Yeah.
You get a layup here, something like that. Oh,
good shot, off the, as you said, off the play.
really good move by Dylan Hoff there. Metallic with 15 here. Sure, they're going to put him in some kind of isolation here and let him make a play for himself or others. Gets in the lane, misses, gets
good
put
follow.
back.
And that's the end of the first quarter. Right back where we started from, Speedway 15, Cardinal Ritter 15. As I said, the Raiders yesterday played in a tournament, I believe, at Alexander, and defeated Sheridan in the morning 52-48, and for the tournament title, defeated the home team Alexandria 66-45. Their other wins this year are both conference wins against Cecina and also against Lutheran. Two pretty good teams this year. I think both of them have winning records. And their losses, nothing to be ashamed about. Lost to Brebeuf, also lost to Guerin Catholic, and finally Decatur Central beat them last week, 74-63. So the Raiders, as I said, come in with a record of 4-4. Speedway come in at 1-6, I believe.
I think you're right. Coach Williams done a great job for Ritter. You can just see by the way they warmed up, the way they carry themselves. They're playing really hard. I know my brother and some of the other guys went and scouted him, was real impressed with what he's done with the Ritter program, so hats off to him.
Absolutely. I think he was an assistant at Fishers High School.
Yep.
And I don't know, sometimes you watch teams, I'm not going to mention the name of a team, but I know Tom Smith would tell you, we went to this game, might have been 2 years ago, or last year, I can't remember. I won't say who the visiting team was, but you could tell just from their warm-ups, from their body language before the game, the way they walked around, that they were going to have a difficult time, and they did. And the Sparkplugs played a great game. And the Ritter bench right now, as I look at them before the game, very impressed with what they're doing. I completely agree with you.
Yeah, he's done a great job. I think old coaches like you and Coach Smith and Coach Mazzar, you guys always watch those little things and pay attention. It makes a huge difference. It really does.
And I won't even be mad at you for calling me old. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I think it really
nice
does. You
move.
Notice a lot of those little things. Good move, left. Yeah. Those left-handed guys are killing us.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have a shot chart. With one of these games, since we can do some things with the graphics, one of these games I'm going to keep a shot chart, and we're going to take a look at it. But they've gotten a lot of baskets underneath.
Yeah, they've done a nice job. Those, like I said, left-handed kids, man, you can tell them on the scouting report all day long. Just so natural. When they start to go right, you think they're going, and they get back that left hand. Metallic has the ball out top. Plugs are down 17-15. Little ball screen. Good skip across. The other Metallic, Drew Metallic, in for the first time.
It was a good pass, though. As you said, the skip pass was very good.
Yeah, looked opposite. Drew, good job by a freshman being ready to shoot the ball.
Yep.
I like kids ready to shoot.
I remember you. You were always ready. You were ready when you got out of the car, I think.
My dad wouldn't have had it any other way.
Yeah. Plugs were in man-to-man defense on that last possession. So far we've seen 3 different defense from Sparkplugs tonight, a 3-2, a 2-3 in man-to-man.
I think we'll continue to see that. I think that's a good job by Coach
And
Bennett.
that's my style. I enjoy. I know it's, the alternative argument would be we'll do one thing and do it correct all the time, and that's fine. Good spin move, but didn't go.
Just needs to get a little stronger. Yeah, I think all of us old basketball coaches would love to play man-to-man all night, but the reality is it's not feasible at every level, every game. I'm the same way. I would mix it up. When I coached, I loved mixing up defenses. And 5-second call. Plugs had trouble getting it in against their press there.
Haven't seen Ritter, but they kind of remind me of a team that will pick up steam as the game goes on. I mean, kind of feel the opponents out the first quarter, first half perhaps, and they've really picked up their intensity here.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, you said they play 9 guys.
Yep.
They're up and down. They hung in the first quarter without their leading scorer getting too many shots. And that's what the pressing teams that play a lot of guys, that's really what they try to do. Eventually you'll mentally or physically fatigue. They'll go on a run. That's what the Plugs need to keep it close here.
And that was another one of Coach Bennett's keys before the game was those little things, those little runs, to hold those down. And how many times have we said there's a huge difference between being down by 3 or being ahead by 3? And we have found ourselves on the low end of that several times, and it's important to have that lead at the end of the game to make the other team play into what you want to do.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely prevalent. Good move, gets fouled. Good job by Devin.
It's amazing how many good things happen when the ball gets in the middle of the floor. A lot of options. And again, I'm seeing that more tonight from us than I've seen previously. I'm not sure that's something they've worked on in practice or not. I have no idea, but it's paying off.
Like it does seem like even the post players have gotten in there and got it back out.
Yeah.
Nate and some of the guards have done a good job of getting in there. Devin made his first one, shooting his second. Good.
Second in for the Raiders, number 15, Cardinal Ritter. And 0, Jude Luca.
Dillenhoff brings it up. Plugs are back in their 3-2.
And it does help that Ritter really doesn't have a true post player. Another big basket.
Yes, it was. It was Xavier Highball with the 3. But like you said, I don't think anybody really has a true big man anymore.
No. Well, the whole development position of this basketball, a lot of the pros now do that. Zach Eady at Purdue, probably the prominent big man in the country. But even looking down the line at his future as a professional will be interesting to see, because even the pro level, you don't have a lot of low post players anymore. You have some, but not a lot.
Even guys like Jokic who handle the ball and pass and but Edie is probably, look at IU, their big guys are versatile and athletes with Jackson Davis. Positionless basketball. How do you like that, Probst? Would you like 5 guards, or are you more of a still like traditional?
I want
guy?
good players, first of all. I don't care if they're guards, forwards, centers, or.
See, I'm just.
I would. I think. I would tell you, Shane, the most fun I ever had coaching a team was a junior varsity team. Wow, how many years ago? Late 70s, maybe early 80s. But it was 5 players that were not very tall, but you could move any one of them at any position. They were intelligent, and it was fun to coach them. And part of that was because of their basketball intelligence. But that's the most fun I think I ever had. Plus, they could shoot the ball really well. That always makes it fun as well. But, high school coaches have to play who you have. You can't go out. Well, I shouldn't say you can't go out and recruit. I guess you can. But I guess some do. But you basically have who you have. And you have to adjust. You can't do the same thing every year. Be nice if you could, but.
Agree completely, especially at the smaller level.
Yeah.
But I'm the same way. I think I loved having 5 guards.
And there were deficiencies with that, obviously, but Ritter kind of looks like it. Boy, did you notice how fast the Raiders got down the floor on that break? Wow.
Yep.
They ran their lanes great.
That's a point guard assist there.
Yeah.
They're speeding the game up, that's for sure right now.
And we're only down 5, but you could kind of feel that speed picking up. And as a team, that's something you got to recognize when you're on the other side of that is, okay, maybe our next possession, maybe we need to get 5 or 6 passes. Maybe we need to reverse the ball 2 or 3 times. Maybe we need to do something a little. You're okay.
Yep, you're fine. Oh.
I don't think he knew it. I don't think
he did either.
He could have just picked that up in the backcourt. But like right now, we're down 7. I hope we can score here, but I think it's important to get a good possession. And there we go.
Yep, Landon. But again, like you said, I think the way they play makes it so tough. They keep pressuring you, and they almost force you to drive, and then you get in there again, and it's a challenge for us because we're going to get in the lane, we're going to get in good spots.
Yep.
Whether or not we can finish them off, or like you said, I would love to see us make them guard. Take their energy away a little bit.
And I've not seen Ritter play, but there are teams that they're great playing defense for 10, 15 seconds, and it only takes one mistake to get an easy basket. And again, I'm not saying that's what Ritter is. To me, they look like a pretty sound defensive team. Talking about time, and I think we had a discussion one other time this year, and sometimes in the summer basketball in the AU, sometimes it's good in a lot of cases, but you play so many games, and I'm sure I had the conversation with you, but there are so many times when players don't know score, they don't know time, they don't know situation because they're playing so much. I mean, if you stop the game, but it would be a challenge for a parent or for anybody, a coach in the summer. A challenge would be stop the game sometime at any point and without the players looking at the scoreboard. Give me score, give me time, give me what has happened in the last 2 minutes. Have they run off? That's, Al McGuire. Exactly. Al McGuire, the old coach who left us many years ago, but said he never used a whistle. His players would play by feel of the game, and I think every coach would like for that for their team.
Well, I know it's a little different, but with football, we do what we call football 101 with our young kids and even our older kids where, I think sometimes we think they understand what we're saying as far as our terminology and what we mean by, I'm not sure when I coach basketball sometimes I'd stop and be like, when I say the baseline, do you know what I mean by that?
Or the elbow or all the terminology.
Yeah,
you're right.
Terminology changes.
That's a good way of putting it, the football 101. That's a great way.
Yeah, and I stole that from Mark Bless. He did that at Avon when he got the job. And, we do the basics. This is the holes. This is our gaps. This is a defensive lineman. Hey, this is when you kick off. I had a kid ask me this year, when do we kick off? Yeah. And I said, well, that's a good question.
Yeah. And also to go along with that same thing is, why are we doing this? Why are you in the corner? Why are we doing what we're doing? And the more your kids can understand that, the better.
Yeah, and I think that is I think that is one thing that's a little different about younger generation. They want to know why.
Yeah.
I think a little of us, you know, your generation, even up to mine, we just did what adults said.
Yeah.
You know, you'd have told me to go, you know, set 8 screens. I'd have set 8 screens.
Yes,
I'd have complained about it when I went home, but
yeah.
I would
Sure.
have done it at practice and not said a word.
I don't think I ever told you to do that because you could score the basketball.
I would have.
You to feel too good there. But,
I would have. I would have set some screens.
Ritter's up 27-21 with exactly 3 minutes to go until halftime.
Miller with free throw.
As you said, the Raiders here in the last 3 or 4 minutes have really picked it up, and these are those critical moments. We can't give up a 6-0, 8-1 run here.
Here comes their press. They're going to run and jump here. They're going to wait. Looks like 4 is going to be the guy. .15-foot jump, Metallic, big shot. Defense getting the ball around. Good block by Metallic. That's where his length at the top of that
Get a rebound
really
here.
matters.
Get a rebound.
Kick it out. Good pass.
Good sequence, both ends of the floor.
Yeah, really good job by Nate. Good ball movement. Wesson misses the first one.
Camden Bennett off the bench tonight here. Has seen a lot of action in the first half of play. Got to get back.
Yep. Plugs don't get back. Give up a layup.
I believe that's the Raiders' 6th foul of the half. We're almost to 2 minutes, and both teams will be in the bonus on the next foul. Creighton Bennett back into the game.
Been a pretty clean play
Yes, it
first half
has.
so
Yes,
far.
it has.
They're in a 2-2-1 zone here. Press. Good job beating it.
Yep. Bounce pass. Might have got through. And now we're putting the Raiders at the line here. This is, you hear a lot on games on TV. This is a critical moment in the game or critical time. But this end of the first half here, Sparkplugs are down 31-23. You kind of feel this thing that's slipping a little bit.
Metallic checks back in. Drew Metallic, the younger Metallic.
Yes.
Hoff gets the roll.
That ball hit every part of the rim, the backboard, and
maybe the top of the backboard, which
Yeah.
is legal.
on the season, again, these statistics don't include yesterday's games because they weren't online, but they're shooting 68% from the line this year. Not bad. Plugs down 10. Coach Moore asking for kind of a push off. I did not see it on that play. I have seen it a couple of times tonight. Did not see it on that play.
Yeah, that was a close one.
And I think he handled that right. He talked to the official. Here's what I saw. Here's what you didn't see, apparently. That's the way.
Another free throw. Get back.
again, Ritter really not having a post player, doing a lot of movement around the perimeter, a lot of cutting, and a little bit of walking.
Yep, shuffled that pivot foot on the spin a little bit. Good call.
Plugs down 8. Let's see if we can cut it to 5, perhaps 4.
Called another block there.
And they're calling, the Raider bench calling for the same thing. I believe that's veteran official Mr. Wagner, who's done a lot of games here, even when I coached and when I was athletic director. Pretty good high school official.
So this is actually a really good crew.
Yeah. Good rebound. This is where you want to make them pay. And we did. Leads down to 6. Good little run here.
Plugs in a 2-3 now.
I don't think it's bothering Ritter as much. He's out of bounds. He wasn't just a little out of bounds. He was. But I think what Coach Moore has done here, and I really like it, a team can get hung up on, okay, now if it's a 3-2, we're going to be using a 2-guard front. They're running the same zone offense no matter what we do zone defensively. So us changing from a 3-2 to 2-3 really is not bothering the Raiders very much at this point. Just simply, again, because they're running the same thing.
Yeah, they're cutting all their guards through, different guy at a high post all the time.
And I think that's a really good way to attack. First of all, requires less thinking. But I'm sure they have some special sets specific to whatever front defense that their opponent is playing.
You know, I think, again, the hard part about playing a zone is convincing your kids you still got to keep the drivers out of the lane. You don't. We got to do a good job of on-ball pressure.
Yeah.
Even
still,
in the zone.
Still man-to-man principles.
Yeah. Metallic gets in the lane. Charge.
Probably a good call. Coach Bennett was a little bit, and you got to make sure you know the officials know that you're still watching the game. So I don't blame Coach Bennett for questioning that, but from where I'm at, 100 feet away, that looked like it was a pretty good call.
It looked like a good call, too.
Yeah.
I think Nate's got to realize when you drive from half court, especially as good as he is, they're all loading up on him.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? There you go back to that little 2-step jump stop, whatever, and something that Villanova does a great job of. And
yeah, he did not land cleanly there,
no.
Did he?
Plug's got a chance to cut it under a minute, chance to cut it to 4. Nice little run here in the last 2.5 minutes.
Need to get a good possession here.
Kind of looked like the game was getting away from us a little bit. We've scored the last 4 points, and on top of that, the Raiders have not scored since about 2 minutes to go.
Didn't get the ball there. Turnover, Plugs. Keep him out, keep him out. Good follow by
Yes, it
number
was.
10.
Kept at it.
Josh Adams there. Metallic feeling pressure, 35. Giannis Nebbit. Looks
20.
like he's
Good move.
landing with the layup. Looked like they put him in just to guard Nate.
Yeah. I'm sure the Raiders here will go for one. We're under 15. No sense in going out too far here.
Missed it.
All right, that's the end of the first half. A really good first half of play. Score, Ritter 35, Speedway 29. We'll be back at the end of the half to talk about the scoring for the first half and talk about what we need to do to win the game. Welcome back, Pollard Gymnasium. It's halftime with the Ritter Raiders leading the Speedway Sparkplugs 35-29. Shane, what kind of individual scoring do we have here in the first half?
Nate Metallic had a great first half. He led us with 17 points. Landon Short with 6, Devin Robinson with 4, and Cody Finners with 2. So only 4 Sparkplugs in the books to start tonight. Leading the Raiders of Ritter is Makai Miller, the 5'11 senior with 11. We limited Benny Smith, their leading scorer, who's averaging 19 to 6 points in the first half. Josh Adams has 4 points. Dylan Hoff has 6 points. Kason Stevenson with 4 points. And then Xavier Highball came in and knocked down a 3 and had another 2, and he ends up with 5 points to lead the Raiders to a 35-29 lead.
In the first half, thanks to our statistician, Brian Pierce, the Sparkplugs were 11 for 26 from the field. Ritter Raiders 14 for 24. We got to cut that down defensively. Sparkplugs 12 rebounds, Ritter 13. And finally, Sparkplugs 6 for 9 from the line, Ritter 5 for 8. So pretty even first half. You know, Shane, we were talking in the first half about AAU and teaching kids how to play. I think the hardest thing when I was coaching was to have kids understand, what are you doing when you don't have the ball? If you have 10 players on the court, we'll do a little mathematics for you here, even though I know you know this, but if everybody held the ball the same amount of time, that would be 10%. They don't. I mean, most of the players only actually have the ball in their hands 1 or 2% of the time. I mean, like Nate's going to have the ball, obviously, in his hand a lot. But what are you doing the other 95% of the time, both ends of the floor, to be a good player? And I think teaching, as you try to teach kids coming up the ranks from the little kids to the junior high up to the level, if you get 5 kids that really know how to play on both ends of the floor, the other 95 to 98% of the time, you got something. And that, to me, when I coached, that was my goal, is to get better at that. But that's a difficult thing to do.
I think so too. I think, with basketball, you can have such a huge impact without touching the ball.
You have to.
All over the floor.
You have to.
Good teams do.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that at every level you kind of have to reset that, I think. And I think that's part of our process of having a lot of JV guys coming up, playing varsity for the first time this year. Maybe I scored, Cody Finners was a great scorer in the JV level last year, to now being, okay, how can I impact the game? How can I make positive contributions when I'm not having the ball, I'm not shooting 10, 15 times a game, And
I know I've mentioned this before, but Kelly Ferris, who played at Heritage Christian, who played at UConn and won some national championships, and this is an old coach speaking again, and I will use that phrase. It was so much fun to watch her play. She could score no points and be the MVP of the game. She knew how to play. It was just fun to watch.
I had that same talk with my brother the other night. Kind of funny, we were talking basketball and talking a lot of things, and I said, your job as a JV coach is to teach them how to play, how to understand how to play. I said, that's it. Don't worry about winning and losing. Teach them how to understand, hey, they're in a diamond press. We need a guy in the middle. Just all those little things, I think, is your job as the JV coach.
Oh, absolutely. Or junior high coach or any level. But that's the most challenging thing of coaching. Raider picked up a basket here. They lead 37-29. Landon Short going back to the line. I want to apologize, Shane. I'm glad you brought my attention. Head coach of Ritter, Derek Williams. And I'm not going to go back on anything I said nice, though, because I'm really impressed with how his players are playing, how they're responding to his coaching. I look over on the bench. So my apologies for calling him not Derek Williams, but Coach Williams doing a fantastic job.
Good pass. There's their shooter, and good contest by Cody. Gets out. Metallic driving. Gets bumped, no call. And here, this is going to turn into an up and down game real quick.
You don't want that. right now you got to put the brakes on this.
Yes, you do. This is the way they want to play.
Yeah, and
they'll trade these possessions back and forth. Creighton Bennett with a miss, and here they come.
Right there, you need a good, solid possession right there.
Miller with layup. Timeout plug.
Good timeout.
Yep.
You know how many times we also said it's a game of runs, and that's kind of what we've been suspect to several times this year from a visiting teams. And this was a good little run by the Ritter Raiders, outscoring Speedway here 6-0. Some coaches would say the most important time in the ball game is the first 4 or 5 minutes of the second half, and perhaps the last 4. It's all important, obviously, but Ritter comes out on fire here, and right now they got the game going at the pace that, as we talked earlier about their keys, this is what they want to do.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, Creighton Bennett, that's a good shot in a lot of situations. But in that situation, you know, we're getting up and down, we're playing their game. You're open.
I think sometimes players equate good shots only to where they're at on the floor. Well, I'm within 8 feet. Again, it's time, it's score, it's run of the game at that time.
Yeah,
good shots depending on a lot of other things other than where the shot is coming from.
Good hustle.
Good hustle, both teams. I believe Ritter's going to get called for the foul, I believe. Looked like a football play there, Shane.
It did. I liked it. Good. They were talking about that with Matherin last night during the Pacer game. You know, he's trying to figure out when to shoot. I think it's always a process for all kids and all levels.
Yeah.
Devin with the drive gets a shot blocked from behind.
No, right there, I really think we got to run something. Make them work a little bit.
Yep. Take the wind out of their sails a little bit.
Yeah.
Metallic with a 17-footer.
You know, Miller, I know you mentioned that Metallic has 15 in the first half. Miller's done a nice job. That's a lot of points, but Nate is a very gifted player.
I said earlier, Mekhi Miller's a really good player.
Yeah.
I scouted Ritter when I was on the staff, and I remember him when he was a freshman and sophomore. And good player, good kid.
But for the most part, he's kept Nate in front of him throughout the night, giving up some height. Good move.
Yeah, another one by him. Turnover on the plugs.
Ritter's open up the second half of play here on an 8-0 run, and they now lead 43-29.
Yeah, their press is really giving us some problems. See if we can get a stop here and resettle down a little bit. Plugs are back in their zone here. Good defense by the Plugs. Creighton Bennett with the block. Devin with the drive and the layup.
Good move. We needed that bad. Here again, the Raiders in the first half was 14 for 24. That's way too good.
They're doing a nice job of moving the ball around. Here
Yeah.
you get a guard in the high post there. In and out.
Okay, right now they're doing some nice things offensively.
Tough break for the Plugs there.
Yep.
Two Plugs battling for the same rebound. Falls to Benny Smith's hands, and he gets a layup. Nate Metallic with a high ball screen here, looking to get in the lane. Devin drives.
Yeah.
Charge. Miller takes the charge there.
Collegiately, having the little arc underneath the basket has really helped officials make the charge call. It hadn't taken away all the controversy, but I mean, you can't be in that circle. I don't know if that rule will ever come into high school or not, but it's not a bad rule. It's taken away a lot of the decision making on their part. If people don't know what I'm talking about, and collegiately, I think professionally as well,
too, yeah.
Little semi-arc underneath the basket, and the defensive player, if his foot is any way inside that or touching that line, it's got to be a block call.
That's the hardest call in basketball, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah.
That and the hand check. I think, like you said, I think you can call a hand check every play. You
Oh, yeah.
call holding in football every play. Just when and where and how to call those.
Good officials know how to do that.
I don't envy that job.
No,
That's a tough job.
We get mad at them a lot of times, but not an easy. And the game, even football, has picked up in speed. Between plays, you don't huddle up many times, and it's nice spin move. Nice block.
Good deep by Metalik there. Stayed down the whole time. Didn't go for any of the shot fakes. It's a good matchup between him and Benny Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I think I could do well, but I know I couldn't be a good official.
Coach Williams has the demeanor reminds me a little bit, going way, way back, the way he folds the program up, and now the way he hits his hand. I know it probably wasn't on. Coach Wood at UCLA would roll the program up, and his assistant, Denny Crum, who coached at Louisville for years, actually since he's got the red jacket on, reminds me a little bit of Denny Crum's behavior on the sideline.
That's
and
funny.
if he can coach that good, he's going to have a heck of a career. We lucked out there.
Yes, we did. He does look like that, though. You're right.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
They look sharp, but they're
I'm just very impressed.
I hate red and black, but they do look sharp.
Very impressed with their style of play and just their demeanor. That helps. Plugs down 45-31. Been outscored here 10-2 to start the second half.
Metalik's taking it out here. Kind of a four across set here. Looks like it's going to be a little screen the screener. Officials call a hold there on the screen.
A lot of teams now play man-to-man on out-of-bounds baseline. Years ago, no one did that.
Brad Stevens played a 1-3-1.
Out of bounds.
He would play one guy on the ball, three guys, and then a floater guy, and then they'd go man after they got it in. But it was kind of I actually saw him at a clinic, and he talked about it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting things that I always kind of looked at, never did, but always kind of thought, huh. Plugs get a stop there, which is good. Down to 14 here.
Just need to, again, make Ritter move a little bit. Good drive.
I think,
And we need some stops. It's got to start down here.
I think that was, huge. Devin Hale on the ball enough to get Nate the ball in the wing so he's not attacking all the way down the length of the floor.
Yeah.
Devin drive and one.
But we need to get some stops. Trading baskets at this point is not going to help us much.
This isn't a bad idea, though, to have Devin relieve some of that pressure. He's a bigger kid. You got to put a bigger body on him. He can handle the ball okay. I just think, that way Nate takes a little pressure off of him. He catches it in better spots to score.
Leads down to 11, 2:30 to go in the quarter. Needs some stops. This is what got us back there at the end of the first half. We were able to get a 6-0 run basically because we had good defense. As you can see right here, the weaknesses are the corners and the baseline on that zone defense, and Ritter takes advantage of it.
And they get a steal and a putback by Giannis Nebet. Metallic brings it up again. Pull-up jumper, he misses. Blessing Bambo with the rebound. It's a scrap underneath.
Sometimes you get behind, and you've heard this saying this many, many times, but you can't score 15 points in one possession. I think players sometimes get in a hurry, in an unselfish way, and they think, we got to get this back, and sometimes you just got to be a little bit more patient and play for these runs.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think it comes from a good place.
Yeah, it does.
They want to help the team. They want to, do a good job. I think that's a big issue. We call it quicksand. Sometimes you try too hard and you end up getting yourself deeper in the hole. Bambo with 2 free throws.
Get him back.
Good. Missed 2 earlier, bounces back, makes 2.
Need a couple stops here on this end.
Off gets in the lane, little floater, good move.
They got a lot of lane shots tonight.
Bambo misses the layup. Devin
Good rebound.
Robinson
Good
fights.
rebound. Good rebound. Devin Robinson, good rebound.
Good job. Just effort there.
Yep.
Plugs are hanging around here.
Yep, they are.
They're battling, hanging in here.
Substitution, number 15, Mikhail Miller, and number 21, Benny Smith.
Devin's shooting 1 here to cut it to 12.
Again, needs some stops.
Good. Devin's perfect from the free throw line. I almost said that before he shot that one. Ritter kind of holding the ball a little bit here.
We're about a minute to go.
I think they're going to be real patient here. If they get something great.
And I think this is, I don't know how it's going to end up, but
ends up with a make by Benny Smith there. Plugs did a good job did a nice job for about 30 seconds there. It's tough to guard much longer than that. Turnover by Nate. Miller with a layup, misses it. Put back by Nesbitt, or Nubbett. Metallic misses a little.
And that's the end of the third quarter of play. Ritter extends their lead. They now lead Speedway 57-41. We'll be back here in the fourth quarter in just a minute.
and gentlemen, if you can bring your attention to mid-court, we'd like to take a moment to thank IHSAA officials. In particular, we'd like to thank Mr. Larry Gwynn, who will be retiring from officiating at the end of the season. Larry has been an IHSAA official for 34 years. Dedicated professionals like Larry Gwynn make education-based athletics possible. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. A big round of applause to Larry Gwynn.
Fourth quarter starting. Sparkplugs will have the ball here.
Metallic with the ball here. Nevitt's guarding him here. They've thrown a number of bodies.
Yeah, they have.
Him, been on him.
That's a good strategy.
You know, a long guy, a tall guy. They've done a little bit of everything. Quick guard.
Hey, good news here. Shane, that is I call the blocking foul. Okay, I missed that. Yeah. But anyway, we are in the bonus, and one more foul, two more fouls will be in the double bonus. So, you know, from a strategic standpoint, might be time to get the ball inside, draw some fouls, get some points back while the clock is stopped.
Really good move by Benny Smith there. Really good move. Under control, good shot fake. Yeah, I think, you know, just got to keep battling here.
Yeah.
They're going to go up and down. They're going to take some shots. Metallic with a great drive and a finish and a delay game.
And I know a little bit about that because when I played 50 years ago, that's 5-0, got called for technical foul one day because I tipped the ball
away.
I'll never forget that, yeah.
Did you do it on purpose?
I think I did it instinctively.
Yeah.
I didn't really even know it. I got warned first and I wasn't even thinking. And
yeah.
I got a pretty good 10 lashing, and I deserved every bit of it.
I'm disappointed that you got a technical coach. Bruce.
Well, that was not common, but okay, right now, Shane, you watch. They're driving the lane, and we can't let that go on because get that ball in the middle, and you got options everywhere.
You know, they've done a really good job getting in, kicking it back out, resetting. There's kind of a bad shot, but
good
again,
tip.
Good hustle play by
it is.
11, Xavier Highball. Another bucket there. He's averaging 10 points off the bench, I think. A few points off the bench. He's done a good job for him off the bench.
Good job. Again, we're going to be shooting free throws. Great move. No, as you watch this, just something we got to do better. But looks like maybe we switched back to the zone now, so hopefully that'll help a little bit.
Yeah, I think, even when I play the zone, you tend to be a little more relaxed because you know you have help behind you, but it can't be.
No.
You can't be, and I think that's been a little bit of an issue for the Plugs.
You know, kind of going back in time, as you well know, our sectional was Ben Davis, Pike, Northwest, Brebeuf, Ritter, and us. And you try to play all season. You try to set your team up so that you can win a sectional. So you got to play your season like you would play to win the sectional. And when we were in the mid-state, and we played a lot of the matchup zone that was handed down by Mr. Pollard, and it wasn't my ideal. I would rather play a lot more man-to-man and up and down. We talked earlier with the 5 guards, whatever. But you had to do what you had to do to survive against the competition against Franklin Community and again, the sectional. I would love to have run up and down and scored 70, 80, but if we had done that, opponents in many cases would have been scoring 90 to 100 to 110, and we would not have been able to compete that way.
You're exactly right.
And so that's why class, I think, has helped us a lot, because we can play the whole season like we want to play in the sectional, and we can do different things that way.
Yes, I agree. I missed the matchup zone. Obviously,
It was effective.
I played it a ton for you.
Yeah.
Really liked it.
That's Mr. Pollard was, going back with some of the old people. Or Bill Green, who's the coach at Washington High School with maybe the best team ever with McGinnis and Downing, and then went to Marion, played that. And I'm not certain for sure, but I think Mr. Pollard was the inventor, and I will give Mr. Pollard the credit for the inventor of the matchup zone. And Mr. Green ran it great, but Mr. Pollard ran it a long time.
I agree with you. I talked to Ed Schilling Sr. before he died.
Yeah.
Me and him talked about that one day, and he said the same thing. I miss Coach Pollard. I love when he used to sub and he'd come in and talk basketball.
Mr. Pollard was the best.
He was the best. I wish I got a chance. Not that I didn't enjoy playing for you, but I didn't know him in that aspect.
He and his wife Bonnie were very good to me after every game, no matter what. Supportive in the wins, supportive when you didn't win, and
yeah, he was
telling you stories about good jump shot there by Creighton Bennett. Coach Bennett called a good time out there. Tried to make one last run here. We got exactly 5 minutes to go. Ritter still holding a 16-point lead. Mr. Pollard in the Hall of Fame, obviously. If you've never been to Newcastle, I'm talking to fans here. If you've never been to Newcastle, go into the Basketball Hall of Fame at Newcastle. If you're a basketball fan forever, you will really, really enjoy it. And this is a good time to do it, because I believe tomorrow is the Hall of Fame Classic, which we used to go to. I think we take our team over there. I don't know if you went with us.
1995, we saw Warsaw play.
Yeah.
Warsaw won it that year.
Yeah. But we would go over there with Christmas vacation, and a lot of exhibits, and you would see Mr. Pollard's plaque over there.
You can see our state championship now?
Yeah. Well, they also, what they do is, if I get this correct, the 16 teams, boys and girls, who were in the final eight, the final game of the different classes, their flags will fly over the entrance to the Hall of Fame an entire year. So the Speedway flag was, and I got a picture of that at home someplace. The Speedway flag flew over for one whole year from 2002 to 2003, and the inside the exhibit. It's a fun. If you're a fan and you like that, it's a very cool place.
It's a great place.
Yeah. If I lived closer, I'd volunteer to work there. I love going in there.
And we need you to sub for us at the high school, Coach Probst. We're not letting you go anywhere.
Well, Speedway back in their zone.
Back in their 3-2, yeah. Ritter keeps flashing and cutting guys through.
They do.
Getting in the
lane.
lane.
They're getting in the lane. That's really hurt us. He had perfect position there to shoot. That's going to be a 5 count almost, but not. There we go. Be careful here, Nate.
Finish here.
That's a block. But Plugs will be shooting 2 on every foul from here on out.
Yeah, I think you got to go in attack mode here.
And the other thing, too, I know you have to practice these things, but right now we have 4 team fouls. You can be really aggressive defensively and go for steals, and if you foul them, it's a bonus. But if you make a steal, there again, it's got time, score, situations, teaching kids, as we talked earlier about what are you doing when you don't have the ball, which is 98% of the time. By the way, Nate.
Yep, Plugs are still in it here.
Cut it to 14. Good hands. Let's get one here. Be careful.
Yeah, I think we got lucky there.
Yeah.
Pick it up, grab it.
got
Good.
fortunate. 2 more foul shots.
I'm not sure we were matched up on that last defensive possession, but Nate did a good job using his length and tipping the pass.
On the season, Ritter's averaging 56 points a game, giving up 60. Again, this was before yesterday. So they're obviously well over their average for the year. Sparkplugs averaging 50 points a game is where we're at about right now, giving up 63. So
Kind of surprised me. I thought they would score a little more.
yeah,
But they played some really good competition.
Yes, they have.
Wouldn't be surprised that number goes up as the year goes along.
completely agree.
Good back cut.
Yeah, okay, get a steal here. Cut it to 11.
Good pass.
Again, we're shooting 2 free throws.
Yep.
I'm thinking take it inside. Good shot.
Devin, 2 more. Plug cut it to 11.
Yep.
Timeout.
All right.
Coach Williams.
Good little run by Speedway. Started on the defensive end. But again, I don't want to harp on it, but boy, we're shooting 2 free throws on every foul.
Yeah, it was a great shot by Devin, but I wanted him to
I
drive.
know. Take it inside. And
But yeah, we're right here. I'm sure Coach Bennett's going to deny here, kind of switch some stuff. I think, I wouldn't be surprised we go man, switch some stuff, and kind of get out in the passing lanes a little bit.
thinking of the good players at Ritter High School since I've been here, my first year here, Shane, I just remembered his name, Elliot Hatcher, who went on to play at Kansas State, a really good player. And, of course, Mosey Barnes, who played a year at Purdue, and then he transferred to, maybe I don't know.
Central Michigan.
Central Michigan.
Was it Eastern Michigan?
It was one of the Michigans.
Yeah. Directional Michigans.
Yeah. But 2 really good players, 2 guards.
Really good coach. He's the AD, Lawrence Central now, right?
Yeah, I believe he is.
He's AD at a couple places, basketball coach at Northwest.
Yeah.
Wasn't my favorite guy in high school, but we get along pretty well nowadays.
Good. But good players, some good talent they've had. Again, for years they were in the same situation we were at Ben Davis, and it was going to be very difficult to advance through that.
It was a challenging sectional.
The year we won the state tournament. Here we go. Probably need to get back to the game here. We cut this thing under 10. The year that we won the state tournament in 2002, had it been single class, there would have been 3 teams in the Ben Davis section that ranked in the top 10 in the state. Brebeuf, Pike, and Ben Davis were all really good that year. All right, here we go. Plugs down by 11 with 3.5 to go.
Yep, Metallic out top. Ben Davis beat us in the county that year.
Yep.
Metallic, floater. Oh, that looked good. Good move by Metallic. Get back, get a stop here.
Got to get down on the boards.
Yep. That's Miller kid battling in there for another layup. Plugs are spacing a little bit here. Devin Robinson with a 3. Blessing battling for the rebound.
Get back, got to get back.
No foul. Yep, I think Drew Metallic
Get in there.
for 3.
Atta baby.
Plug still only down 12 here.
Yeah, it's all right. Not a bad foul. It's only our 5th foul. Plug's showing a lot of fight.
Plugs put another freshman in, Jazz Coleman. Play some defense and foul a little bit. He's
Yeah.
good. He's good at fouling. He'll
Yeah,
do a
well.
good job at that.
A little discussion over on the bench. I'm hoping that this is not a score book.
Technical.
Yeah, hopefully it's not, but it looks
Yes,
like
it
it is.
is.
And so we brought in, and I don't know, I don't have the book here. You mentioned we brought in,
Jazz Coleman.
and perhaps he has the wrong number, or perhaps his name wasn't in the book. I don't know.
One or the other. Wrong number, name not in the book, one or the other to Adam, right? It's an automatic technical.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was not in. First free throw is good. Many years ago, I think we talked about this one night. Leading free throw shooter in the country was playing for Texas. He was a local product from Indianapolis Southport High School. They were number 1 or 2 in the country. Opposing team had a wrong number in the book, and the coach for the Texas Longhorns said, "We're not going to shoot a free throw here. That's not how you start the game." And the official said, "You got to do it. It's the rule. You got to shoot." Well, they didn't do anything wrong. Just made the shooter shoot it over his head.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Abe Lemons.
I had
Nice
that
follow there.
talk a few times in JV games where I tried to tell the officials, I don't care, it's a JV game.
Yeah.
But
Nice follow there.
I would not like to be on Coach Bennett's bench right now, because I know for a fact, because it was my job for years
To
check the book.
I checked that thing
I'm not sure
over
whose job
and
it is
over
now.
and over
I know,
because I was nervous.
I know Coach Bennett does too.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a more meticulous
Detailed
person.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
and I know there was nights I went and checked and kind of laughed because I didn't think Coach Bennett would make a mistake. But I did it for probably 5-10 years at one point. That was my role. It's not easy. You have to have kids lift up their shooting shirts and all that stuff. They're annoyed with you.
And they make mistakes too. That's a good steal there.
Double dribble.
Yeah. Very good steal. Ritter's kind of calmed the waters here. Plugs had cut it down to 12 a couple times. It's back up to 16 now. Let's go the other way.
Metallic brings it up against Miller here.
Again, draw the foul.
Drew Metallic with a 3 in the corner. Blocked by Cody Finners, actually.
Good drive, good score, and one.
Metallic with another and one.
Yeah, Coach Williams understands these. He knows these points right now. These are some baskets you don't give up. You finish strong, and credit to the Sparkplugs. They've gotten down, but they've cut this thing several times to 12, and they're going to be able to cut it to 13 right here.
Yep. We talk about all the time. I think you got to keep playing. You got to keep building habits.
Yeah.
It's still, I know Plugs are struggling a little bit in the win-loss category, but you got a lot of season left.
A lot.
Yeah.
Again, we talked about the Monrovia football team, and when they played here.
A lot of season left.
And now you get, we'll talk about it later, a little bit of a break here before our next game. Go back and work on some fundamentals.
Dylan Hoff's had a nice game for them. He's done a nice job on the floor. Not gonna like we talked about, he's not gonna have a ton of stats in the stat book, but done a nice job for him.
Right.
Devin Robinson with a miss. Good take by Benny Smith.
There we go.
Robinson with a 3.
1 minute. It looks like Ritter might be content here to run the clock out. We got 30 seconds to go.
Yep.
Coach Williams going down, high-fiving, slapping the hands of the Ritter Raiders. Well-deserved. Again,
Oh, technical foul on Metallic. Just shoved Miller.
Frustration. Again, Shane, we'll talk about it later probably, but very impressed with the Ritter Raiders tonight. I think well coached. Again, I like their demeanor. And I tell you what, come sectional time, of course they're in our sectional, I believe.
Yeah, they're kind of a lot like Beach Grove.
And that's what I was going to get to.
Yeah.
As you said, a lot of season to go, a lot of season to improve, and we do too. We have that same opportunity. Frustration sometimes can get to you, and I understand that completely.
Yep, I think that was one of those situations. We could debate it. They're holding the ball, then we try to go for a steal, then they get a layup.
And he was wide open. I don't think their intent was to score.
I don't think so either. And I think they would have dribbled it out.
Yeah, well,
I think they would have. We went for a steal, and then kind of leads to a situation. They score. We're frustrated.
No disrespect on their point at all.
I don't think so either.
He was wide open underneath the basket. It's like,
yep. And then Metallic, it wasn't a malicious shove, but it was enough. It was enough.
And he knows it.
Yep.
Nate's one of the better interviews. When I interviewed him a couple of weeks ago, I told him after that he did a tremendous job up here. So,
yeah, he's a well-spoken, really great kid.
Yeah. Now they're going to dribble it out. And that's going to end the game. Tonight's final score, the Ritter Raiders 78, Speedway Sparkplug 61. We'll be back in just a second with the scoring for tonight's game and a quick wrap-up. One more time, welcome back to Pollard Gymnasium, where tonight Ritter Raiders come into Pollard Gymnasium and come out with a 78-61 victory. And I believe that puts them to 3-0 in the conference, that's huge. They haven't played Beech Grove yet, but that's very, very important on their part. They don't play Beech Grove until February the 8th, so by that time you could be looking at conference championship on the line. They do have Triton Central after that, I believe. But Sparkplugs tonight as a team with 23 of 52 from the field, 14 of 21 from the line, and 21 rebounds. The Ritter Raiders 33 for 59 from the field. That's well over 60%. I'm not even going to get the phone out to check, but 31 rebounds and 10 for 15 from the free throw line. Shane, what did individually just kind of look like?
Well, for the Raiders, their two seniors, Makai Miller and Benny Smith, both had 19 unofficially. Really led them, did a great job. I talked about Dylan Hoff, had a great floor game. He ended up with 10. Josh Adams had 8. The Kason Stevenson had 9 with quite a few rebounds. Xavier Highball was 7. Jude Anuka with 2, and then Giannis Neba, who came in and guarded Nate and did a good job, ended up with 4 points. The Plugs were led by our leading scorer, Nate Metallic, with 25. 18 points by Devin Robinson, 14 coming in the second half, played really well in the second half. Cody Fenners ended up with 2. Landon Short ended up with 8. Creighton Bennett with 2, Blessing Bambo with 2, and Drew Metallic, the freshman, hit a 3 to round off the unofficial scoring for the Plugs.
Well, the Plugs now are off until January the 6th. We have a 3-game road trip here. We go to Greenwood Christian, who has, I don't know how they're doing this year. I did not check, but they've had some pretty good teams.
Some really good teams.
Yeah. And then January 20th, we are at Pike for the county tournament, I believe. And then January 17th is our next conference game it's not, but we play at Park Tudor on January. Sparkplugs will not return home until January 20th, when they will host the Tri-West Bruins. So a lot of work here to do. I know they were off for a few days before the Christmas. Not a lot, but not playing to January 6th. I'm trying to think what day of the week that is. I can't even think here offhand, but got some time off, a couple of weeks.
A week and a half, 6th of Friday.
Yeah. Get away from it a little bit. And got some things to clean up. I thought tonight, Shane, for the longest time there, all the way up till half, I think at halftime, Plugs were down 35-29, made a nice little run there at the end of the half. But then Ritter came out in the third quarter and, scored about the first 10 points, and that was kind of the end of it, even though we were able to cut it down a couple of times. So we will be back in just a minute to talk to Coach Bennett. All right, one last time back at Pollard Gymnasium here tonight, where the Ritter Raiders have defeated Speedway Sparkplugs by a score of 78-61. Here with Coach Bennett. Coach, we ended the first half on a really good run, scored the last 6 points, I believe, and had cut the lead down 35-29. Ritter came out in the third quarter and got that, you've said many, many times, it's a game of runs, and that was really the only run they needed. They stretched it out to about 13-15. We cut it down to 12, 11. It's difficult to come back that far, but showed some fight there to get back. But your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the first thing is I thought it was a pretty physical game. Obviously, they knew that they were going to be physical with Nate Metallic, which I think they were, but I thought there was a lot of holding. I was probably a little over boisterous at some times. But
you have to let the officials know that you're still watching.
I wanted to make sure, and then, when you can physically see them holding his shirt, and then, you start the second half. I thought Cody Finners got pushed on the sideline. I'm not sure. Of course, I'll be able to watch it because the guys here at Speedway Cable, so that's great. But, from there, they just went on a little run. We did get some shots inside. I thought the key was we also missed some free throws in some key spots. Our team goal is 70%, so I just challenged the guys in the locker room. If you look at the team stats and you're not shooting over 70%, you need to stay after every day and shoot some free throws because that's a fixable thing. I thought also, too, we gave up too many drives in our zone.
Yeah.
They got to the middle of our zone. You would hope that we could help in and maybe do that, stop the driving a little bit. Because they did not, obviously. I mean, they hit some threes, but that wasn't the key part of the game. It was their drives they got in the lane and then, find somebody else. So, but, as you said, it would have been easy for us because I think I called a timeout with 5 minutes to go. We were down 16, and then with a minute 58, we were at, I think, 11. So that's 5 possessions. So, we cut the lead almost in half, and then I think if we wouldn't have kind of lost our cool at the end, we could have maybe even cut it a little bit lower than that. I don't know. We could have came all the way back and won, but, we just needed to keep our cool at the end too. So,
sure.
And again, the other side thought too is at least it's not March. At least that wasn't. They're a sectional opponent. We'll get a chance to see them again. We'll get a chance to clean some things up.
Lots of season.
14 games still left, but we'll get a chance to clean some things up and move on from there.
So now you're off now till January 6th. We talked about that when you go to Greenwood Christian. A little bit of time off. What's the plan now until then?
This part of the year, we just had a nice long break, but tomorrow we'll come out and support the girls because they've got their holiday tournament here. So we're actually kind of kicked out of our locker room because it's an all-day thing. So we're actually taking off tomorrow, come back on Friday. The plan on Friday is to watch a lot of film because we can continue to learn some things and, show some kids, hey, here's a straight line drive you didn't cover. Here's a box out you missed. So we'll do that. Saturday come in. We'll probably get a lot of shooting, conditioning. Then we're off on Sunday, back to school for the kids on the 3rd. But we've got 4 days to plan. So it's going to be almost like, start gearing up for the sectional. Okay, you drew the bye game. You've got to play on Friday night. Got to beat that opponent. And Greenwood Christian's a great opponent, very good. Playing right now. I think they might have won the Monrovia tournament they were in the past 2 days. We went and watched them last night. They've got 3 kids that can really shoot it and then kids that play hard. So, it'll be a lot of fundamental work, a lot of conditioning, a lot of film, a lot of reflecting to see how we can get better and then how we can finish strong over the last 14 games. Obviously, we want to get on a roll over the last 14 games, and all the teams that we play we'll be very competitive with. And then, of course, we get tough draw in the Marion County tournament, play Pike. So, but again, those last 14 games, certainly no easy wins by any stretch of the imagination, but no easy losses either.
Sure. All right, so our next broadcast for the boys will be January 20th, Tri-West, and I believe then the following day we do the girls. I believe we play South Putnam. But so anyway, once again, thanks for joining us tonight, Bill P., Brian Pierce, and our guest cameraman tonight, the better looking of the Pierces, Jim Pierce. I shouldn't say it too loud because Brian here did a fantastic job on the stats tonight.
Yes.
And we appreciate that. That helps a lot. So once again, final 78-61. Have a great New Year's and let's enjoy the New Year's, and we'll be back January 20th. Have a great week.